Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to the Wild Zone. It's Tweak Bigfoot coming at you with another Diablo 3 Great Rift gameplay. Now, I want to apologize for being away for the last couple weeks. I can give you excuses like I've been busy, and school, work, I'm sick, many different things. Truthfully, I just didn't have time. I had to do a lot of things coming up to Christmas, and I apologize for not posting, but I'm really excited to be back. Now, like I said, this is a Diablo 3 Great Rift gameplay, and you're probably wondering, what the heck, that's not a barbarian. You're correct. I decided to start playing classes I haven't usually played before. So the first one I wanted to play was the Necromancer, and that's for two main reasons. One, I have bought the Necromancer DLC and played none of it. I haven't touched the character, so I got one to 70, and now I'm starting to gear up here. And the second one being is I had a Primal Ledger's Disdain drop. Now, for those of you who don't know what a primal is when the gear drops, and it's very rare this will happen, extremely rare. The gear will drop, and it's a primal, and it'll have the best stats possible. It cannot get any better than that. So I had a Primal Ledger's Disdain drop, which I will link on the screen right here. There it is, Primal Ledger's Disdain. And it is the forefront to this build. That's why I'm playing this build with Anarius. So I will get right into the gear, and then I'll start talking about the gameplay. So it's using the 6 set of Anarius. The 2 set bonus being bone armor damage is increased by 1000%. 4 set being bone armor grants an additional 2% reduction per enemy hit. And the 6 set being bone armor also activates a swirling tornado of bone, damaging nearby enemies for a heck of a lot of damage. 75% weapon damage, and increasing the damage you take from the Necromancer by 3,750%. That's incredible. That is an amazing 6 set bonus, especially when you're up close and personal like I am. I'm using a Kraid's Flame, my Wisdom of Kalan, just so I can increase the maximum bone armor stacks by 5. Having that extra armor is going to make me tougher, and it's going to add to that swirling bone tornado. I'm using Nemesis Bracers. You could probably change these out depending on your preference. I like Nemesis Bracers because it spawns an enemy champion, and they go down fast with this build. They die incredibly fast. So, though that gear is probably interchangeable, but that's what it is so far. I'm using the Unity, so I can stack armor and then take half the damage to my follower. The Primal Ledger's Disdain, which I've already talked about, which states that Grim Scythe does an extra additional 65 to 80% damage. For me, it's 80 per point of essence missing. That's incredible. So I'll talk about why that is incredible in a second, but revolving around this build, you want to have 0 essence. And then finally, I'm using a Convection of Elements for that poison. I'm using the Poison Scythe, which gives you 150 to 200% for a single element for 4 seconds, and it rotates. You guys all know that. And Trighoul's Corroded Fang. The Curse Scythe rune for Grim Scythe now has a 100% chance to apply a curse and deal 150 damage to cursed enemies. I love this build a lot, and in fact, I actually believe I dropped Unity for a Crispin Sentence due to the slowing effects on damage. Again, personal preference, but I like Crispin Sentence. And the thing it does, actually, I take that back, sorry, it's in the cube. Another thing I can get to in a minute. Anyway, the abilities here are Curse Scythe, Grim Scythe, Curse Scythe, sorry, which does 150 weapon damage as physical to everyone I hit. Just a great skill, gives me extra damage, and it's poisoned. The big skill here, Skeletal Mage Singularity. Now, if you're a Necromancer player, you're wondering, why the heck are you using Singularity? Well, it's because, like I said earlier, with the Primal Ledger's Disdain, you want to have 0 essence, because for every point restored, you get an extra 80%. So what you want to do is you want to dump all your essence, summoning a Skeletal Mage, and you want to just start swinging for the fences with the Grim Scythe, doing all the damage you can to restore it up and dump it again. I'm using Blood Rush Potency just because it's a good skill, it's a great escape. Kill Command Skeletons, I've got them going so I can launch them at enemies, bring them down faster. Using Kill Command to make them explode. Blight, Death Nova, Blight. Again, not a skill you need to use, it's just a good damage spender. Blight leaves a lingering patch of Blight, slowing enemies for 60%, triggering that Crispin Sentence. That's why I have that in the cube. And then Bone Armor Dislocation. Enemies hit are stunned for 2 seconds. Again, Crispin Sentence proc helps really nice. And overall, it's pretty good. I'm using Bane of the Trap, Bane of the Strength, and Bane of the Stricken. Or Bane of the Trap, Simplicity of Strength, Bane of the Stricken. My apologies. And in the cube, I've got Nair's Black Death, Depth Diggers, Crispin Sens. Now, this build overall performs very well. I've only gotten it to about, I pushed an 80 once, but it was not the greatest video, so I chose not to record it. I pushed 80 once, and I just got the timer. I like this build overall. It can go up to 100, 105 plus. I've seen videos of it hitting 105 plus, no problem. So far, I've had a lot of good luck with it. It's overall not a hard build to play. It's pretty self-explanatory. You go through the rift, you dump your essence, and you start swinging the defenses with the scythe, and then you recycle it. Now, you want to keep your skeletons low for the standalone passive, which increases armor by 100%, and it reduces it for each 10% for each active minion. So you want to have those skeletons dumping fast. You don't want to keep the skeletons up. You want to keep them low so you can get that bonus armor. Now, like I said earlier, when it comes to taking down rift bosses or rift guardians, this is a easy build. What you do is you just dump. You'll see in a minute. But what you do is you just dump all your essence and start swinging, and they go down fast. I can't take credit for this build. Like I said, I've discovered it online. I will link to where that is. But overall, it's been a really good build. I'm sure there's ways to tweak this and things you can do, but overall, I like it a lot. It's a really good build. That's a good Great Rift pushing build. I don't believe it to be the best. Actually, I know it's not the best Necromancer build, but that's a topic for another time. And overall, I've really enjoyed it. I like the utility that it brings. I love to be up close and personal, so I like Paladin, Crusader, and Barbarian, and Necromancer, and Monk. I love being right up in the faces of my enemies and getting right up in there. The Necromancer really excels at that, especially with the 6 set from Anarius, which provides you with the Whirling Bone Tornado. It gives you that option to get right up and close, as you'll see here in the video, just getting right up close and swinging at my enemies, and getting right up in their faces. Now, I believe there's a better way I could play this because I'm really low on health for a good amount of the build, and I think that's just me not playing the build properly. I could probably launch skeletons more, and I could probably work on getting my bone armor better, but for the meantime, I think there's improvements I can make. I think that this is going to be a good build, even with the changing season. I very much believe it's a good build, and it's got the potential to keep going. Now, as you'll see, this rift boss goes down fast. He just drops. It's going, and again, I could have done this a little bit faster if I had launched my skeletons a little better and kept bone armor up. But overall, it clears it, no problem. I believe this is a 65 or a 70, not the highest rift, but overall, it's very good. For me, I'm quite enjoying this build, and I'm looking forward to playing it more. I'm going to post more videos about it, and more content coming up in the next couple weeks. Anyway, once again, I apologize for the hiatus, you could call it, but I'm looking forward to being back and posting more videos for you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys are going to have a good Christmas season, and I'll talk to you later.